Okay, so we're going to talk about how to recognize or identify main ideas in a lecture. And this can be tricky because when you're listening to a lecture or a talk, you're hearing lots and lots of information. So how do you know what are the most important concepts that you need to be writing down in your notes? So basically there are four kinds of clues or different ways to help you identify main ideas. And we're going to take a look at each of those in the next couple of slides. So one of the first things you can use to help you identify main ideas when you're listening to a lecture is something called discourse markers. Discourse markers are basically just signal words or phrases that indicate when an important idea might be coming. Now, generally, when a speaker begins a lecture, they will start with some sort of a phrase to indicate what they're going to talk about. And there are many different types of these phrases, but here are a few examples just to get you started thinking about them. This afternoon, I'd like to explain or focus on what I'm going to talk about today is, the purpose of my remarks is, and then as they go through the lecture, they may add some other phrases to indicate here's another important idea, and they will use signal words or phrases such as, the point I want to make or cover here is, or the main point is, or the important thing here is, or what I'm trying to show is. Now, all of these and others let you know, okay, this is something I probably want to take note of and write down. Another important thing that is considered a part of discourse markers is something called rhetorical questions. Now, rhetorical questions are basically questions the speaker asks that they plan to actually answer themselves. They're not looking for you to answer the question, but they are asking the question to let you know, here's a question that I will be discussing and giving you the answer to. So you want to always pay attention when the speaker asks a question, because that is probably a main idea that you want to write down. The second clue that can help you to identify main ideas is when you hear things repeated. Often a speaker will repeat using the exact same words when they have an important concept they want you to notice, or sometimes they will repeat using different words for the same idea. So when you hear the same words or the same concept repeated with different words, you know this is important because the speaker wouldn't be taking the time to repeat it if it wasn't something that they wanted you to take note of. So listen carefully for ideas that are repeated and write them down, because most certainly they are main ideas. The third clue or way you can use to help recognize important or main ideas in lectures is by noticing the pace of the speaker. So pace has to do with the speed of their speech. How fast are they speaking? Often speakers will speak much more quickly when they are not really as concerned with the information that they are presenting, or they don't consider it as a very important concept or idea. When they slow down and you notice that their speech has become much more deliberate and slower, that's probably because they are trying to emphasize a very important concept or idea. So when you notice that slowing down of the pace, take notice, pay attention, because probably they are indicating to you that this is a very important concept that you should be noticing and writing down. Watch for slower speech. The fourth clue that you can use to help identify main ideas in a lecture is by simply paying attention to the visuals. And by visuals, I basically mean the slides or any kind of drawing that the professor might do on the board, because visuals, graphs, charts, pictures, all are there because the speaker believes that this is an important enough idea to illustrate it or demonstrate it with some sort of a chart or an image. So of course you want to pay attention to your visuals. Also included in visuals would be any kind of writing that is being done on the blackboard or the whiteboard, because obviously if the speaker has taken the time to write it out, it's because they want you to copy it down into your notes, as this is an important idea.